Oh, hi, hello, welcome to the show. Before we start We the GamerCast, I want to thank everybody who supports us at patreon.com/makeusbetter, especially our platinum executive producer, Mr. Corey Hicks at twitch.tv/chicks_18, our gold executive producers, Mr. Mark Moody, Edwin, Calo, Josh Bloodborne, Borbone, Mike BC, Panache, Malloy, and our executive producers, Devin, Tyus, Haiman, Brendan Myers, Tony Hutchinson, Donnie, Reece, Stephen Iafrate, Dude, Caro, Underwood, Dante, Bellini Jr., Kevin Austin, Tammi, Ryan, Robert Bobby Miller, Tim, Aulph, and David Ray. Thank you guys so much. You support me in 4 ways right here at We the GamerCast, twitch.tv/Sean Capri every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at 10:30 Eastern Standard Time. If we ran Nintendo and the Xbox Drive, thank you guys so much. Now, on with the show. Hey everyone, it's me, Sean Capri, and welcome to episode 173. Every 10 episodes it rhymes a little bit of We the GamerCast. It comes to you on iTunes, Google Play, and youtube.com/WeTheNerdy every single Monday. Thank you for being here, subscribing, thumbs up, leaving comments, rating on iTunes, all the things that you guys do. I am so appreciative. Here on Canadian Thanksgiving, I am very thankful for you. And in case you're new, here's the deal. Every single week I have sweet hangs with a stranger from the internet. And if you want to be on the show, it's very easy. Tweet at me at Sean Capri, Sean like Connery, Capri like the pants. You know, I actually still have that like written in the notes as if like I'm ever gonna need to like refer to it. Why would I? I don't know. I don't want to get rid of it just in case like things kind of change, and so I don't know why it's there. Guys, thank you so much for being here. We have a wonderful video game nerdy classic, hey, what kind of games are you into kind of chat coming up here with my new friend Andrew Gonzalez. He's been supporting us here for a little while actually, and all kind of like flows through the Lohr, as it turns out. A lot of connections, all these people, we all seem to like know each other who knows somebody else who knows somebody else, and that's the magic of We the GamerCast. I am so pumped. As I mentioned, today as you're listening to this, perhaps, or I guess as this is launching, that's a little presumptuous. You listen to it on day one. The Xbox Drive you should listen to on day one. This is evergreen. You can listen to this anytime. The Xbox Drive day one is like, it's very important and it's very short. This is you could listen to this next year. So maybe you're listening to this in 2020. Hope you're having a good day there in the future you. That's cool. I don't even know what I was saying. I'm going to start off by giving a big internet hug to my good friend Brock McLaughlin. I just saw. He said he went offline for a little bit, going through a little tough space. So if you guys don't mind, Brock McLaughlin, it's like a McLaughlin, or it's like Laughlin as a Happy Meal, maybe. Brock McLaughlin on Twitter. Show him some love whenever, whether you're listening to us on Thanksgiving, Canadian Thanksgiving, or if you're a 2020 person podcast listener. I'd be very curious if they've made any advancements, and maybe the iTunes or Apple podcast app is good in 2020, but let's not get our hopes up. Brock, I love you with all my heart, man. I hope you're doing okay. This is, as I said, Canadian Thanksgiving. Did you guys know it's Canadian Thanksgiving? It's Canadian Thanksgiving. I want to bring something back I haven't done in a couple weeks. My 3 things that I'm grateful for today. We need a little pick-me-up. And I want to give a shout out to Jonathan Brown. He's keeping this up. Josh Stapleton also keeping this up. Guys, it helps. So I need it right now, so I'm going to do it. And on Thanksgiving, of course, before I even get into it, I still plan on stealing American Thanksgiving. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I want Canadians to adopt the American Thanksgiving as well. We need that like official kickoff to Christmas season or the holiday season or whatever you want to call it. This is kind of like a random day. October doesn't seem like we should be giving thanks just yet officially. We still have Halloween. We have so much to be thankful for with all the bags of candy that are coming. But anyways, all the joking aside, I'm thankful for my job. Number one, I am. We had a crazy summer, a crazy kind of like already into the fall here, I suppose. It's been very rewarding, very challenging, very just all the check boxes. Like I have great friends there. It's been awesome. So my job sometimes some days is not the greatest. Sometimes, or I should say, I don't have the best time. But lately it's been good. Lately I've been very happy. So that is great. I'm thankful for you, Mr. or Mrs. or Ms. listener, or whatever you go by. I'm just grateful that you tune into the show every single week. I I know that I say, like, thank you for listening and thank you for subscribing, blah, blah. I really do mean that. And I just wanted to take a quick moment to thank you for taking time out of your week or your day or whatever. And you could have downloaded a different podcast. You could have even skipped over this one, but you're listening and you're here. And from the bottom of my heart, I'm very grateful for that. And I'm also grateful. I don't know. This one's nebulous. This one's weird, but for some reason, this is the one I want to do. I'm grateful for the power of sleep. And I guess maybe it's just because I'm looking forward to it. I know that as soon as I get a little bit of rest, I will be renewed. I will be refreshed, and I am truly looking forward to that. Tonight, I think I'm actually going to get it. Although I do feel like my laugh lines and the bags are kind of they're working okay. If that makes any sense, like there's some people who can pull off bags, and I think that I'm working on it. I need new glasses. I look at myself in a camera too much, you guys. Let's get on with the freaking show here. I really was like, I'm not going to have anything to talk about today, and then I ramble on for going on 8 minutes now or something like that. I'm geeking out, Bobby. In case you're listening to this, I am geeking out. I haven't done a geek out in a little while. I'm going to be seeing and touching Bobby Pauls in the face this week, Tuesday, October 9th, the day after Canadian Thanksgiving. Did you guys know it's Canadian Thanksgiving? We're going to get together. I think I'm meeting up with Fiona McKinnon and possibly even going down to Bobby's house. I don't know exactly. I think that's the plan. Things could change. So Tuesday is sort of like that's kind of taken care of. Wednesday I'm actually working, and then on Thursday before I fly home, if you guys are in the New York area, if you can get yourselves to Nintendo World, New York City, I'm going to be there as early as possible. Let's connect on Twitter or on Discord or wherever. The links are in the notes for the Discord. I have to leave towards the airport by about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. But I want to be there as early as possible. We can all hang out. We can get some food. We can high five. We can just like yell hey at each other if you guys want. So if you're in the area, Joe after work, Joseph Moran, everybody else, that like let's do it. I'm sorry this is so late. I didn't even know what was happening until I still don't really know what's happening. I'm pretty sure this is a pretty good plan. So hopefully we can pull this all together. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Let's get into a very awesome, nerdy conversation. The purest of pure nerd conversations is right here with Andrew Gonzalez. You can follow him at AJG Vulture 89. And I hope that you guys know the spirit in which I intend that. It's like, this is, I said to Andrew right after we stopped recording, I'm like, that's like the true spirit of We the GamerCast as I originally intended it, which was, you're hanging out at near Comic-Con or PAX or whatever, and you bump into somebody and you're like, oh, hey, what are you doing here? And you're like, I like video games. Like, get out of here. I like video games too. That's this conversation. So why don't we get right into it? Here he is, my good friend, Andrew Gonzalez.
Tomb Raider, but I might end up picking Assassin's Creed up later. So.
Yes, dude. Okay, so how far are you in Tomb Raider?
Only like 3 hours. Not even.
How are you liking it?
It's good. I have the animal thing, so I saw the jaguars early on. Mm-hmm. Not too thrilled. I was scared going in through the first challenge tomb because I saw those people standing on the top, and I didn't know who they were. But then I thought an animal might pop out, and I was very nervous throughout the entire time. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. I don't know if I'm ever gonna get back to this game. I might need to cut it. Do you have a backlog going right now? Do you have like an active list or anything, or at least a mental list?
Way too many games, and I even bought Dragon Quest, and I never started it because it came out I was away the day it came out.
There was 2 games that came out that week, wasn't there?
Spider-Man.
Oh, of course.
And
yeah.
I was away when Dragon Quest came out, and then I got home and Spider-Man came out, so I was like, I'll obviously play Spider-Man first. And then Tomb Raider came out, and never went to Dragon Quest. Mm-hmm. So it's still sitting on my shelf.
Son of a gun. What's your history with Dragon Quest? I don't have any at all.
I bought Dragon Quest 8, I think, just to get the demo for Final Fantasy 12.
Oh, I love it. Oh my god.
That's the only Dragon Quest I've ever played. Mm-hmm. None of the other ones. But people love this one, so I decided I should probably get it too. They
should do more of that, I feel. Like the baked in demos, like the gotcha demo kind of thing.
That's why everybody bought Crackdown.
That's what I'm talking about, man. Exactly. Like and I love that that's a you know, maybe they shouldn't do it all the time because it's special. Like, people remember those.
Yeah.
I only bought this like kind of okay game because I really wanted the amazing demo.
Crackdown was pretty fun though.
Yeah, but like it didn't have any hype around it. Like that the only reason anybody even knows that it was okay is because they tried it because they wanted Halo.
I miss demos.
Well, what do you think? Luke, Lohr, and I were talking about this on the Xbox Drive this week, and about like the current state of demos. I feel like demos are in flux, but also kind of making like a renaissance, but in the modern age, where you're getting like full games and like Octopath, you could like carry your progress on.
That had the opposite effect on me with Octopath.
Oh, really?
I ended up buying the full game and played about an hour of it. I was like, not for me.
No way!
And I ended up. GameStop had a weird trade-in deal where they were giving 80-90% back.
Yeah.
So I bought Octopath for $51 with tax because of Amazon, and when I traded in Octopath, I got $49 for it. So I was down $2.
What?
And I traded in Odyssey, and Zelda because the thing.
I don't think you're allowed to do that.
Before Switch got cloud saving, my Switch died, and I lost 50 plus hours in both games. And
you're one of those.
I was never going back to Breath of the Wild. They were giving me a year and a half after it came out, $49 for it. So I said, all right, let's go.
Really?
And I paid off the Elite controller, the white one, with the credit that I got for all that.
Snap. Do you have both control? Hang on a second. Before I get to that, I would do the exact same thing. Like, I think you made an emotional decision, but I stand by it. Of like, cool. Screw Nintendo. Why don't I have the ability to back up my saves? Like, it's a way of like disconnecting from the pain.
And now, it makes me not want to get Pokemon because there's no cloud saving.
Oh.
And if I lose 60 hours of Pokemon, it's gonna be the worst.
Are you another, like, everybody in the Kind of Funny community was like born and raised on Pokemon? Is that the same for you?
Pokemon Red.
Pokemon Red.
Yeah. That I remember beating the Elite Four on a school trip. I had it on the bus with me. You couldn't save mid battle, and you couldn't suspend the game like you can now.
Of course.
I had to beat it in that one bus ride.
Well, that power button was so final, right? Like, you slid that power button, it's that snap, and it was just like, boom, like, there's nothing left. There's no charge going to that thing anymore. It's over. So when you're in the school bus playing Pokemon, like, are there kids around you playing it as well? Like, I had nobody who was into Game Boy when I was a kid.
People were watching it.
But like, they're into it?
On the bus, like, but no one else had it. And I remember not being able to catch a bunch of Pokemon, not realizing that you needed blue to get all the other ones. So I had to convince someone to get blue just so we could trade with the link cable.
And so you were actually able to convince not only this other person to like go want it, but then convince them to go convince their parents, essentially, is what you did.
Well, they were going to get a Game Boy, and I'm like, just blue, just because for Pokemon. And I was like, you need blue because I have red. We can get everything. And then when Gold and Silver came out, I bought both of them. Oh
my gosh. Do you think that still like plays out today, like with kids or even adults? Like because Pokemon's obviously ginormous even now. Do you think that's gonna happen with Pikachu and Eevee in next month?
It happened with Sun and Moon with the group of people I know.
Really?
I'm getting Moon, don't get Sun. And we just texted each other. We're just like, all right. We made sure that there was at least one person that got a different version so we could trade.
The strategizing is on another level, man. Like, even the purchasing. You're not even playing the game yet, and you're like strategy. What's the investigation process? Like, they announce a game. Like, what do you do when they announce a new Pokemon game? Like, what happens?
I actually don't even look into any of them.
Okay.
I just find out what everybody's getting and try to get the opposite, just so I end up trying to get all the Pokemon. It doesn't matter. I think it only mattered Red and Blue because I like Charizard, and then Silver and Gold because I like Lugia better than Ho-Oh. So
I don't know those other ones. I know Charizard. That's just it. I'm way too old, man. I feel so old right now.
Silver and Gold is when they introduced the whole second region, where they didn't really have many Pokemon from Red and Blue. It was Silver and Gold had their own set. And I was like, Lugia, it looks really cool. I need silver.
Yes. So, what is your excitement level for the next one? Like, have you already strategized? Are you getting Pikachu? You getting Eevee?
I'm not
like,
getting it.
You're not getting it at all, dude. Okay, so this is so interesting because like here you are, you can name off all the different games and all, but like I can't even tell you like which ones even pair up with each other. Like you just told me red, blue, so like yeah, like that's one. Gold, silver, I think.
Yeah, gold
black,
and silver.
white.
The next
Maybe
one.
I'm better at this than I gave myself credit for.
They had black and white. They had ruby and sapphire.
XY,
and then
yep.
they made like yellow for the red and blue, and then they made crystal for ruby and sapphire.
See, that's where I get messed up. Is the third one that they do? It's just like, come on, man. I can pair things
and
up.
then they did X and Y, I think. Which I didn't
Right.
play that.
I played a little bit of Chelsea and I. That's where we were both like, okay, let's figure out what the heck is going on in this Pokemon world. Like, I just need to figure this out. So, okay. I don't have the history of Pokemon like everybody else does. Then, like, Pokemon Go happens, and I'm like, okay, let's see this. And okay, this is pretty exciting. Like everybody else, and pretty addicting. And this is mindless and stupid. And then they announced Pokemon Pikachu Go, Let's Go Pikachu, and Let's Go Eevee. And yeah. I'm like, I'm all in. Like, why am I all in? Because like it's linking back to something that I found exciting. I thought it's so smart the way that they're linking Pokemon Go with this one, and it actually got me playing Pokemon Go again. So like I'm kind of hyped, but there's so much happening in this fall. We probably say this every fall, Andrew. We probably say every single September, October, November. This is the craziest holiday season ever. But it feels like that this year, doesn't it?
Oh man, I'm caving getting Call of Duty because the Blackout demo was so good.
Mm-hmm.
That sold me. It was everything I wanted PUBG to be.
Oh, really?
And it runs smooth.
Did you ever play PUBG in first person?
I have not. I saw it. It looked weird.
Me too.
Third person.
Could you put I can't describe why it feels so weird in first person. Like why? Like is it that far off from quality that you just can't even play it in first person mode?
It's weird with all the inventory management and with all the picking up. Third person just seems good. When I drop something, I know where it is, and it doesn't feel right to me in first person, but when I played Blackout, it felt like Call of Duty. It didn't feel like PUBG. It just felt like Call of Duty on a bigger scale.
Yeah,
I liked it.
That's nice, man. You know what it reminds me of? Like Skyrim or Oblivion or any Elder Scrolls games or even Fallout 2, like where you could flip back and forth between third person and first person. And like third person just never felt right. It always seemed like the character was just like floating around and not really grounded at all. And first person always seemed like better, but still kind of weird. And then reverse for No Man's Sky, I way preferred third person when they updated that with the next update. I thought, wait, that was the first time they did third person? Yeah.
I only played the next update, but I only played about 2 hours of it. I got into space, but it was so frustrating to finally get into space because they don't really tell you how to play the game. And I was getting really confused. I died to robots.
Is that a genre that you do too much? Like, because I don't do any of the really the survival stuff. I think of like Ark and things like that.
No,
the Long Dark.
I tried Conan Exiles for 30 minutes.
Is that what that game is?
Yeah, it feels like a weird mix of Minecraft, a weird mix of Ark and Rust and all that, and random people killed me when I was trying to learn how to play the game. And I couldn't do it anymore.
That's just it. Like, you're just trying to learn it, and then all of a sudden somebody comes and ruins your day. You're like, I've got a trillion other games that I could be playing right now.
That's why I like Minecraft, because I can play my own world.
Oh, well, there you go.
Survival, all that.
Okay.
But if you play with people, like I've played with friends that have locked me in my own house and then burned it.
Oh.
While I was in it.
Well, when in Rome, I guess. Okay, I want to take a quick sort of step to 20,000 feet here. I want to know, Andrew, how has 2018 been for you? We could talk about games, we could talk about life. How are things going? How are you doing?
It's been weird. I mean, I traveled a lot this year.
Good for you.
Cool.
That's good.
Well, I went to E3, and then 2 weeks later, I went to San Francisco for Kind of Funny Prom. So that was entertaining. I mean, E3 is always hectic. It was more hectic this year because the last time I went, it wasn't open to the public, and this year it was, so it was a much different experience.
Just
Trying
crowded.
trying to navigate everything, and the lines were a lot longer, so you couldn't get as much done as you could the previous time. So, but it was still pretty cool. I mean, seeing a lot of people.
I want to talk to you about that because I've only had like very, very small experiences at conventions where I am trying to get anything done really, and it stressed me out big time. Like to the point where I was like, I actually don't even want to go to E3. And work it. I mean, like I want to go to a thing and I just want to enjoy it because like there's so many things that felt like they were out of my control, like just people getting in the way, or like me, maybe this is more in my control about me knowing where to go. I can scout out directions and stuff, but getting lost is a real thing. Getting cut off, or like there's an exit or an escalator that's broken or something. Really stressful, man. Like, so is that kind of like, because I kind of get a similar answer from people who talk about going to E3, but I want to dive into the actual experience and like the stress or even the pressure that you put on yourself to extract as much as you can out of the experience and put it out for your for the website or for whatever it is that the person is pushing out in terms of press.
The first year I think was a lot tougher because I didn't know what I was doing there, because the convention center is so huge.
Yeah.
And everything is in its own spot. You're running left and right, and then you make all those appointments, and you're trying to make those appointments, and then trying to figure out time to actually write about what you did, which gets really tough if you stack your schedule. And then this year was tough because Microsoft was in its own building, and then you have to wait on its own line to get into that building. So it's further to walk there. So if you're making scheduling, you have to know the distance between buildings and then try to run between them. And I think it was a lot more. It was tougher the first year because I hadn't been there, but it was more hectic the second time.
That's
just
interesting.
Because they made a lot of changes.
It's like, this should get easier as time goes on, right? Like, why is this still harder, even harder in a different way?
Like, I didn't finish writing some stuff till after it was all over, just because you schedule so many things and you don't have a lot of downtime.
Yeah.
And then you're going to events afterwards and doing all that, and so trying to find time to actually get work done is pretty difficult sometimes.
How long have you been doing how long have you been doing the Xbox Enthusiast?
E3 2015.
I thought you were gonna say 20 years. I was like, I might call some BS on that. So sorry, 2015?
Yeah. They picked us up to cover E3 2015, and then I went actually there in 2016.
Who's they? What do you mean?
Oh, like the people that I write with, they were looking for people, so they saw an ad in 2015, and then I joined them, and then I was there since.
Well, talk to me about the Enthusiast, because there's a PlayStation Enthusiast, there's an Xbox Enthusiast. Is there a Nintendo Enthusiast as well?
That's the one that started everything.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, so who's responsible for all of this enthusiasm?
They're based in Toronto.
Yes.
So yeah, they're based in Toronto. They actually have you probably heard
I might have
about
bumped
it
into them
through there. You probably heard about it through there. They have the EGLX convention that's coming up in Toronto at the end of the month.
Son of a gun. No way.
Yeah, so like Greg and Nick
are
going there, and like Naomi, Kyle's going there too, and then
back to the homeland.
A bunch of people. I wanted to go there this year, but after spending money for E3 and then kind of funny, just a bunch of money just to go down there for 3 days, so I ended up not going this year. But I'm trying to, if they do it again next year, I'll definitely be down there. All
these conventions and shows took like the expense that we apply to video games to like the next level. You know what I mean? It was like, man, how am I going to buy all these brand new games? And it's like, how am I going to afford these flights and hotels and everything for multiple shows? It starts
adding up, and then I'm just like, I want to do, we'll see, the kind of funny one that was more just for fun.
Yeah.
So next year I want to go back to E3, but I also want to try to go to RTX in London, because I've never been out of the country.
Ooh.
But it's the same price to go to fly down to RTX Austin than it is to go to London, and I don't like the heat. So.
Me neither, man. I'm the same. The weather outside is perfect right now. It's like around 0, which probably sounds weird to like Johnny Casino, but Adam Leonard I think is used to it. I have to mention Adam Leonard every podcast.
The cold hurts. The cold hurts my body, but it's way. I rather have a little bit of pain than being sweaty all day.
You just can't even touch anything. Just like you try and air out your pits and you're just standing all weird, and it's super awkward, man.
And I don't know how it is down by you, but here we have so much humidity that I hate leaving the house.
Come here, man. I'm telling you, come on over to Alberta. It's dry. It's very moderate, and your big American dollars go a long, long way, man. So like, don't go to London. It costs you like $2 to get a pound over there. You'll be a king up here in it's practically like Eastern Europe in the 1980s.
Oh man, it'll be exciting to go somewhere different.
Yeah, man.
I mean, I do want to try to go to Toronto next year if that's at all possible.
Toronto's pretty cool. Toronto, like we make fun of Canada a lot, but Toronto's pretty great, and Vancouver is world class in my opinion. Like, it's so far from where the majority of people are in the States. But like Vancouver, I think Seattle is probably similar from what I hear. But I absolutely I go to Vancouver, I just have an absolute blast, man. But talk to me about this journey that you kind of have been on in terms of like you're now like well settled in press. Like you've been writing for Xbox Enthusiast for a little while. Like, you know, games come your way, you get to write about the stuff, you get to go to E3, but like where did that all start? Like I'm just picturing a young Andrew Gonzalez still with the beard and the mustache, but like 7 years old, just like hello. Yeah. But like one day I would like to write about video games and but probably not. How did it all start for you to get involved more than just being a fan?
I just always played since I was a kid, and I always wanted to go to E3, and I knew that was the only way to go. So I just saw that random ad, and I was like, yeah, I'll try it, and it ended up working out.
I love it.
Literally how it started.
No, man, I need a very dramatic, like, actually, I was really trying, and I bled through my fingertips because I was writing so much and like hammering through 4 keyboards, writing so much. I
think now that's the point now.
That's where you're at.
When you're already there trying to do more. I mean, I got lucky in the sense that it was not that difficult to start, but it's more difficult to keep doing it, especially when you write for Xbox and they weren't really doing much, and everybody seems to hate it, and you can't be so positive all the time because they have their Sea of Thieves and State of Decay that I thought I'd be playing for months, and I stopped playing all of them.
Oh, well, I did too, but like I don't put too much weight into like my attachment to games in terms of like, am I playing this for a year? Because I don't do that with anything. Like there's almost nothing that I have that I've been playing for longer than a few months. Like I really want to move on to the next thing. So like my experience is not indicative of what I would say the quality or longevity of the game is.
There was a year that all we played was every day Halo 5 Guardians multiplayer. Yeah, man. And then we switched from Halo 5 Guardians multiplayer every day for almost a year, played Rainbow Six Siege. Ooh. I want to get into that game so bad. And Halo is still good. Halo 5 is still... I probably gave it a little too high of a score. I probably should have like docked it maybe a little bit for whatever. Well, you know what? I rated my own Halo 5 review, so everybody can just suck it. I loved it, man. I thought it was amazing. It really wasn't until the second time that I played through, I was like, hang on a second. Those commercials are total bullshit. And like the podcast didn't make any sense with this at all. But it didn't matter because I had a great time playing it. The story was okay, but I thought the competitive multiplayer was the best since Halo 2. Big time. And I think my arena playtime was over 13 days or 14 days of arena playtime. Because we just played every single night for 2-3 hours a night, or sometimes it was an hour, but we played all the time. You're getting that like daily. That's the thing. I'm kind of hitting that with Forza Horizon 4 right now, where I'm like, I'm sucked in by those daily challenges. I'm like, I'll just go like get my lumberjack or whatever it is, and like just there's a speed trap over there. Oh, I'm just another like couple experience points away from like level 10 on Mixer or whatever, the road race things. There's always something. I just hit, because I wasn't here the past 2 days because of Comic-Con, I just hit Horizon Life. Oh. So now everything's opened up. I think it's like 6-7 hours, just because I was drifting everywhere and getting skill points.
Mm-hmm.
So I leveled up really fast.
I feel like here's what I'll say about Horizon 4 this time. I feel like they built it for as if people had been playing Horizon for a long time. Like I feel like they're like, okay, here's your game again. We got seasons this time, but I seem to like it seems to me that a lot of people this is their very first, maybe even Forza game period or certainly a Horizon game. And I don't know, like it seems to be working out, but I feel like the third game is actually the one that people should start with. I think the first couple hours is way better in Horizon 3 than 4, but then the ongoing game is better, I think, probably in 4.
I think the issue is that they wanted to make it for such an online thing, but then locked a lot of the online stuff out for 5-6 hours, which they probably should have just put it right in the beginning. Mm-hmm. But I think the reason why this is a lot of people's first is Game Pass, because no one has an excuse not to play it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you have Game Pass, you should download everything that goes on there.
And they've been basically giving Game Pass away for the last 6 or 7 months. Like there's sales. It's like I'm set for Game Pass for a year and a half, man.
Same for me. When Amazon did the buy 6 months, get 6 months free or something like that, I took advantage of that. It was $34 for a year.
Mm-hmm. We usually miss out on those things in Canada. Like we usually don't get those kind of deals. Like the Game Pass, or sorry, Xbox Live Gold and PlayStation Plus, all the CD keys that everybody gets. I don't know. Unless somebody in Canada can tell me, I feel like we'd never get that kind of stuff.
I only know all these things because Wario64 on Twitter.
Right?
It's so funny. I'm set for Xbox Live till 2022.
Hell yeah, man. You never have to worry about it.
I stacked everything every time I saw a deal.
God. Mine just reset. Mine just got charged to my credit card, and I was like, God, like how did I not like go to get even at Costco? Costco would have something better.
It's so weird with deals, and I know it's not a deal, but I've been playing a lot of Fortnite, so I put in $10 for. I put $10 in for season 5 for the battle pass.
Yeah. But
I played enough that when season 6 started, I didn't have to pay for it because I just got enough coins in there. So I make it so I'm never gonna have to pay for another season again. I'll just keep playing.
I'm just imagining like the conversations that parents are having with their kids about this to say like, okay, you could play this for like 1,000 hours in the next 3 months, and then I don't have to give you another $10, or should I just pay? Like, it's a bit of a struggle. Do I want my kid playing like thousands of hours of Fortnite, or do I just want to like buck up and pay this thing? I don't know. It's a tough one.
I forced myself to keep playing at first because I didn't want to spend another $10.
See, that's what I'm talking about. But like,
I mean, it's so worth it though. It changes the whole game entirely. They have battle pass challenges with things that you can only see if you have the battle pass. So I played with a bunch of people, and we're climbing and building to catch these lightning bolts that are in the air. And one of the people that I was playing with is like, "What are you guys doing?" And we're like, "We're getting the lightning bolt." He couldn't see it because he didn't have the battle pass. And then once there's things you can't see at all if you don't have the battle pass. So
sounds like you guys are all high and everybody else is like sober. Like, what are you guys doing?
He ended up getting the battle pass, and then once that happened, he saw everything, and then we would just play normally. But they lock a bunch of stuff out, and it makes it an entirely new game because they had a challenge last season where you had to take a golf ball that you get as an emote if you have a battle pass and go onto the green and hit it toward the hole and make it onto the green in one shot. But if you don't have the battle pass, you don't even get the golf ball to do that. Dude,
aren't you supposed to be like killing and surviving? Like all these challenges are like everything but playing Fortnite. You're doing
I think there's a event this weekend. It's disco style thing where you have to dance in points to capture points, but try to shoot people at the same time.
How has Nintendo or Splatoon even like let this come up out of nowhere? Because I feel like maybe they rest on their laurels a little bit. Splatoon, I feel, was like next level with the Splatfest. Let's get like this big exciting thing. It's like it's nonsense. It doesn't really get you anything. Maybe some exclusive gear. Can't even keep your shirt for God's sakes. And it was exciting for a time, and now nobody cares about it anymore. And all of a sudden, like Fortnite comes up, and it's like, no, this is how you keep people going forever and ever and ever.
They make millions a day off of microtransactions in Fortnite. I actually think for Splatoon, it's probably controversial decision, but they should put it free with the Nintendo Online.
I agree.
Everybody would play Splatoon if it was a free game. And
that's the last thing Nintendo would ever do, right? Is give anything away for free.
They don't want to make us happy. I mean, again, Pokemon and Splatoon don't have cloud saving because you're scared people will duplicate items. When a bunch of online games on Xbox and PS4 has cloud saving and no one's messing the game up for other people.
Like, what kind of system have they built where that would even be possible? It's not cool.
And I bought Nintendo Online. I don't even use the classic games they give that much. I've played Mario and Mario 3 plenty of times. I don't really need to do it. I think the only thing I played was Tecmo Bowl because I'm in that league.
I love it. I'm a spiteful person when it comes to video games. Well, maybe overall, but certainly with this one, I tried I tried actually to buy the year. And it was like, no, you want to do the 7-day trial. I'm like, all right. I couldn't even get to the spot to buy the full year or the family pass. I probably did something wrong. So I had the 7 days, and I got into playing a couple NES games. I'm like, I don't like these games. I actually don't want to play these games. And I'm very sorry to everybody who loves those games, but the Mario games, undeniable. Like, really, really good. I'm just talking about, like, a lot of them are just kind of like, ugh.
Even Zelda still holds up.
Yeah.
Zelda, that holds up. I like Ghost and Goblins. I think that's
Do you?
the one that's on there. That was fun.
I didn't even try that one. I don't like the name.
It's tough, but it's pretty cool.
It reminds me of Grab by the Ghoulies, which I thought was okay.
I never finished it, but I enjoyed what I played.
It probably has nothing to do with Grab by the Ghoulies. It was just like a whole bunch of G's up in there.
Have you ever played Marvel vs. Capcom 3?
Yeah, man.
You know Arthur, the knight? He's from Ghosts and Goblins. That's the...
No way!
Yeah, that's the character from that game.
I love that about like these like Smash type of games. You're like, I'm just gonna play this character. I don't know where he's from. Like, was it Roy from
Fire Emblem?
No. Oh god, or Rob. I'm screwing this up so bad because I'm not even sure what game he's from. I think it was Marvel vs. Capcom. He's this awful fighter. He plays sort of like Ryu and Ken in Marvel vs. Capcom, and he has like a really, really bad flame, like a fireball. It's just like, he's just, somebody will help me out. Anyways,
you know what? After this is
not
done,
doing a good job of describing.
On my Xbox, I'll boot it up. I'll look through. Yeah, I bought that one. I played like all the Marvel vs. Capcom games, and I hate the new one with a passion. I'm a huge fan of that game.
Yeah.
The new one you can win by just pressing the X button because they do simple combos now. So if you keep pressing the X button, it will do the ultra combos by button mashing. They kind of encourage it. And
who finds that satisfying? Nobody, even if you're new, you're like, man, I didn't deserve that.
Yeah,
like I didn't earn that.
I bought it day 1. I returned it day 2 because I couldn't. And then they had a Capcom sale where the game is on sale for $6. So it's like, you know what? I'll get it again for $6. So I bought it digitally.
Yeah. Are you a digital hoarder?
I used to be all physical, and I realized I had no more space for games, so I started buying digital.
It's funny how we all kind of landed at that realization about the same time. Like, it took like whatever number of generations it was. We're like, all right, enough is enough. This is enough.
When GameStop had that sale, I traded in Overwatch. Which one of my favorite games. I traded in Overwatch physically, and I went back and bought Overwatch digitally the same day.
Yeah, man.
And it was on sale because it was also on sale on Xbox Live. So I basically even traded for it. The credit I got at GameStop, it was the amount of credit it was on Xbox.
Is Xbox kind of like your home console? Is it your main, or is that where your heart is?
Yeah, everything else is the exclusives console, and I know people say that for Xbox all the time, that's their exclusives, but I'm the complete opposite.
Me too.
I used to be the Sony guy. I mean, PlayStation 2.
Yeah.
I started with Nintendo, and then I had the NES, the SNES, the 64, but then I got the PlayStation, and then I bought a PS2 because I went to vacation in Florida. They had Kingdom Hearts. Bought PS2 just for Kingdom Hearts. I ended up getting an Xbox for Knights of the Old Republic.
Oh, that's a huge gap in my gaming, man. I feel real bad about that one.
Once that happened, Xbox took over because then I had Halo, and then they bought Rare, and I needed Perfect Dark Zero. So
Did you really?
I was like, I loved Rare. So I was like, Perfect Dark Zero and
Mhm.
Cameo were both launch games on the 360.
What is
which
happening right now? I was just talking about Cameo like the last week or 2 weeks ago or whatever it
which
was.
I'm so bummed that we'll never get a sequel. They canceled Cameo too, but I would have been all over for that.
Where have you guys been? I've never heard this before, and all of a sudden Cameo's making a cameo. Multiple cameos in the last couple of weeks here with the GamerCast.
Did you know about Cameo too? Like the one that they were gonna make?
I remember
And
hearing about it, yeah.
yeah, it looked more realistic than the first one, and they
Hmm.
just scrapped it. And then they were Connect Sports too.
Oh, yeah. Can I be honest
Not
with you? My connection with Cameo breaks at the box art. I wouldn't normally say that like box art matters until it's so bad that it matters in a negative way. I feel like the box art for Cameo is brutal. Like whatever the dude is, it's like kind of hovering over the name, and I think the font is
yeah.
bad. I think it's just like I don't want to play that. I don't even want to turn that thing over. It's one of the worst box arts in history, in my opinion.
That was the first game I played with my 360. The launch lineup for
Mhm.
that, I ended up buying 8 games
Did you
that launch day.
really?
It was Project Gotham 3,
Oh yeah,
um,
Blue
Cameo,
Dragon.
Perfect Dark. I don't think that
Wasn't
was
ready to
day
launch?
one. No, I know Condemned came out, and I was not a horror guy,
Oh,
but I
dude.
bought it. Dude, I bought Condemned, and I didn't like scary games. I had a friend come over, and I just handed him the controller and made
Yep.
him play so I could watch because I was like, I bought this, so I need to see it through.
Hmm.
And I only played the first level.
You're just like, nope, no, thank you.
Even Quake was scary. I bought Quake 4, day one,
I bought that from Blockbuster, man.
and Need for Speed Most Wanted came out, and then I don't know if you remember, it was underrated Gun. The Tony Hawk,
Yes.
yeah, the Tony Hawk people made a Western,
Hmm.
and then the last one I bought was Call of Duty 2, which was really good.
That was a classic, man. I remember playing that on like a 60-inch Sony LCD projection screen TV, like just like super old, but we thought it was like the most gorgeous thing ever. Um, what was that other? There was another Western game on the 360. It wasn't
It wasn't good. It was the Call of Juarez.
Call of Juarez. That was it.
That
Yeah,
wasn't.
no good.
Gun was so good
Hmm.
that it ruined
That's
for
so
me.
funny.
It ruined that for me. And so speaking of westerns, we have Red Dead coming out,
Hmm.
and I'm one of the only people that will say that I Red Dead 1 didn't do it for me. And I bought that game the same day. It came out the same day as Alan Wake and the same day as Split Second.
Uh-huh.
And I bought all 3 of those games on launch day.
Yeah.
Played through Alan Wake first because I needed to play that game. Played through Split Second in its entirety, got all the achievements for that. Then I started Red Dead, played about 3 hours of it. I said this game's not for me, and I
Oh
stopped.
my god, I can't disagree anymore. I labored through Alan Wake. Split Second I actually never even heard of until it just came out on Games with Gold, right?
Yeah.
So we
A
can
few-
all play it now.
Like 2 months ago. maybe?
Yeah. But Red Dead like captured my imagination, dude. Like it was just like I didn't even know I wanted those things out of an open world game. The whole like emergent gameplay that is thrown around all the time. I'm like, that's what I wanted out of that game. I'm just wandering around like, oh, what's that over there? And oh, what's that
Well-
over there? And it's morning. Thanks, Red Dead.
It's also, it goes back to the animal thing. Yo, that cougar dropped me off my horse. and, and and I know I'm gonna regret it. But I bought the digital copy of Red Dead 2. It's already like I got it last week. I
Mhm.
pre-ordered it. It's gonna be ready for launch day. I'm gonna play it, but I'm still a little concerned about it.
So walk me through that decision. What the hell? Are you just caught up in the hype?
I like GTA Online.
Yeah.
And I know I'm gonna play Red Dead Online.
Mm,
And the 2 trailers that they showed for gameplay were really cool.
yeah.
And I read a bunch of hands-on just how immersive it is.
Yeah.
And I'll give it a shot. If I don't like it, I'm stuck with it. I'll come back to it when online drops because it's probably gonna be like a month later.
Mm-hmm.
And if I don't like the single player, I'll play something else. But I know I'll be hooked on the online aspects for a very long time.
Could just be timing. Like, I don't know. I talk about this with Luke and a couple other people quite often. Like, what about like a game lands at a certain time, but you're like, maybe you're just not ready for it. But like maybe a year later or 6 months later or something, like it's a better timing for you?
I know that's happened in the past. If Final Fantasy 15, I bought at launch. I took a month or two break and I came back to it, and then I ended up really liking it. And I know that's happened with a bunch of things. I know a bunch of shooters that I started and I never finished for a while.
Yeah.
That happened with Titanfall 2, where it got crunched between Battlefield and Call of Duty. Like, everybody knows that was probably the worst thing they ever did. Put it in between, but I came back to that game and it was fantastic.
Do you think, like, Respawn, do you think people aren't, like, I'm trying to think of, like, it's old Modern Warfare people, right? Like, everybody knows that. Everybody knows about video games, knows that. Like, why do you think, like, not everybody just, like, went over to support them? We all recognize that Modern Warfare was incredible. Why are we not all going, like, support absolutely everything these guys do? It seems like they still kind of, like, fly under the radar. Maybe it's the EA banner.
Well, I think for Titanfall, the first one was exclusive. So then when the second one popped around, those people in PS4, I don't think they really cared that much. And the people on Xbox, they didn't really show up because the multiplayer was kind of dead right away.
I think it has to do with the way that, like, even Xbox was... So we can all agree that the way they sold Xbox in the beginning was wrong. That they went for, 100%. Like, the living room. And so... But I think that that message actually landed with a lot of people who actually wanted that. They weren't interested in games, which means that when the games landed, they were like, who cares? I bought this thing to, like, run my living room instead. So they, like, failed on both fronts. They missed the gamers, and then the people who bought it weren't buying any of the games because they sold it to people who weren't interested in games. Holy crap.
I don't know about you, but I mean, I bought it day one just because, I mean, I liked Microsoft, but Rise looked awesome. I was a huge Dead Rising fan, and a next-gen Forza, you couldn't turn that down.
I got into Forza after 6, actually, and then I kind of went back and, like, because I was into Project Gotham racing big time, and way back in the day I was into
I wish I came back.
Project Gotham, like, the kudos system and everything was so good, man. I mean, we kind of have that now with the skill points.
The skill points, it's kind of the same because I hate getting such a high skill point and then accidentally hitting a tree, especially on a drift. That's where they get me.
If you get enough skill points, there's part of the skill tree that you can get that it'll take 2 bumps to drop your skill down. So I save up for that for every car so it's individualized for every car too, which I think is interesting.
That's why I haven't used a single skill point in my 7 hours. I have 65 skill points that are unused, and I haven't used a single skill point on any car yet. I've just been playing with the ones I've gotten.
You get an achievement for unlocking 50 of them, so you could just go to 50 of your cars and use the 1 skill point.
As soon as I find the best car for me, that's going to be the car that I use everything. I don't want to use it and then I get a better car and realize I wasted all my skill points on a car that I'm never going to use again. So I'm kind of playing the waiting game, but at the same time it's ruining my competitive play because everybody has better I guess better skills or whatnot. They're getting more skill points. That means they're getting better cars. They're getting more money.
Yeah, it accelerates the whole process. Like, anytime you put into the car, then you're getting more out of the car and everything like that.
I mean, I'm saving up to buy... I have 1.9 million CR. I'm saving up to 2 million so I can get this... There's a castle or something that's 2 million. But if you get 2 million, if you get that one, it also gives you 10 super spins. So,
oh, snap. Oh, I didn't even realize that.
And yeah, someone told me 2 days ago that not to use your super spins right away, because when you use a regular spin, if you start getting the emotes and you start getting the gestures, they're the same thing, gestures and
Horns.
clothing, you don't get them anymore. There's no duplicates, so that when you get rid of all that and then you start using your super spin, you're only going to get better things.
Oh my, of course. That's the way, like, everything, like, even like Destiny is kind of like Kind of like that. You get to a certain level, then you start a new character and transfer everything over. I think it's, I don't know if that's exactly slimmer.
So
In my brain, it's connected.
I'm gonna start hoarding super spins and then unleash them all at the same time.
You know why I don't do that, but I'm gonna try my best to do that now that you've told me that. Is I like anything on my phone, any notifications, anything where it's like a 1, I'm like, I gotta clear that out of there. I gotta get out of there. It just drives me nuts. Just maybe a broken individual because of that.
Well, no, I totally get that. I went through. I didn't know that at first either. The thing about the super spins and them not having duplicates. So as soon as I got all of them and I saw 3 or 4, I was like, all right, I have 4 super spins. Let me use all of them. And then I had 11 wheel spins, and I was just started using all of them at the same time.
So addicting. It triggers that lizard brain in all of us. We're just like, this is the best.
And then I get frustrated when I see greens, and I should have gotten the purple, and it just moves a tiny bit, and I get an emote or 10,000 CR when I was so close to getting 300, 400,000.
Even the way like it kind of gets close, and then it'll swing back the other way, like not quite, and it'll just be like, no.
Or swing up
today.
the wrong way when you're right at the one you want.
That's.
I just got the Warthog.
Oh, I don't even have that yet. Have you played?
I got it in a regular wheel spin.
You got to play that Halo mission, man. It's something else. They need to lean into that a little bit more.
I just unlocked that mission too. I haven't done it yet.
So by the time this airs, you will have experienced it, and it will change your life.
Maybe we'll get a Halo kart racer down the.
So funny. It's always like the thing people want, but I have one kart racer in my life, and that's Mario Kart, and like nothing. I don't need anything else. I don't need more strategy guides in StarCraft 2. And shooters are the things that I can be like, I'll chew them up and spit them out. Like that's totally fine. And third person games, open world, I'll take all of those. But certain genres, I don't need anything more.
You got me wanting, when it goes on sale, to pick up Diablo 3 again, because I don't play on PC. I bought a gaming PC, but I bought it mainly to try to learn how to do videos and things like that. But on my laptop, years ago when Diablo 3 came out, my friend said you can play on low settings because I didn't have a powerful laptop.
Right.
So I bought Diablo 3, must have played for days worth of time. Then it came and then I bought the DLC, was it Reaper of Souls? I bought that expansion for PC, played a ton of it. It came onto Xbox One. We all bought it on Xbox One. I ended up getting all the achievements that were part of the base achievement set. So
level 70 hardcore.
Yeah, and I almost died at 69 and was about to cry.
Oh my god, that's crazy, dude! I love that game.
And I never played the Necromancer DLC that came out because I had gotten rid of it after I was done entirely. I was like, there's nothing else for me to do. But now that that's out, I'm thinking when it goes on sale, I should spend the $30 and just get it again. Play with the Necromancer.
Yeah.
Get sucked back in Diablo 3. That game is great.
What about Switch?
The online needs to be stable for me to do it.
I'm thinking the same thing.
And I've played online, even when we played Tecmo Bowl, it was having some issues connecting to a game that's not like powerful.
Yeah, so like what's going on?
It makes me concerned about Smash. And I mean, I already have trouble playing Mario Tennis, and the thing is, my connection on my Xbox and my connection on my PS4, I don't have issues.
Rock solid.
I have issues with the Switch.
Yeah. And
the games are good. I love Mario Tennis. I've played that probably more than anything. With first party stuff. Actually, you'll be surprised. My most played game on the Switch is Puyo Tetris.
I am not surprised. Well, I guess I am surprised, but I'm mostly just happy. Like that game, if we're talking about demos, one of the best demos of whatever 2017, I think. Everybody sold me on that.
Everybody plays that game. The online community is so strong. I think I take the longest 2 minutes to find a game, but within 30 seconds to a minute, I'm already in a game with people.
Dang it. Oh, I gotta play that some more. My brother would love that too. My brother and my wife love like those puzzle games. Like Chelsea is so good at Dr. Mario. She's great at Tetris, like all these things. Her brain is just like way more advanced than mine.
My parents, I had bought a Switch for them so that they didn't use mine. And then I bought Last year for Christmas, I mean, I had Puyo Puyo Tetris because I did a review for it for Nintendo Enthusiast, and then when Christmas came around, I bought them a copy of Puyo Puyo Tetris, so they really like that game.
Dude.
They're probably, I think they're actually playing it right now.
Get out of here. Can you hear it? You're just like taking out your headphones.
I knew they were gonna play it.
That's
but
amazing.
I mean, that game is so fun.
I'd love to get my parents into video games, but they still call this podcast a blog, so like that's not gonna happen.
I have people say that when I say about writing.
Yeah.
They're like, "Oh, you're doing blog stuff."
Doing
I'm
your
like,
blog.
"No, it's a website."
Like I know, and then, like I don't know, it's like when like people don't mean anything by it, but you're like, yeah, it's not like anybody can do a blog, but like this is kind of like a real deal thing. Like I don't know.
I wanna get. I was concerned about Mario Party because I have the thing with I can't use my left hand as well, and with the Joy-Con, and I play Switch exclusively handheld. You can't play Mario Party handheld. You have to play docked or on the screen, but with Joy-Cons detached. I was very concerned about it, but Kyle Stevenson, he said that I should be okay. Yep, he said I should be okay.
I just motioned for their beard for those listening to the audio. I don't know why I did that. Hi, Kyle.
He said yesterday that I should be okay because the Joy-Cons, you can use them like horizontally like the controller, but then when you have to use it on one hand, I could just use my right hand, so I shouldn't have a problem. So I'm thinking of picking it up because my family and I used to play. We played 8, 9, and 10. So now that we have the 2 Switches, we could easily just play Super Mario Party, and those games look really fun.
That they at their heart and at their core, they are fun. You know what I love about you, Andrew, is like I feel like you know like everything about all of the things. Like I feel like I could have jumped in here with like we could have done a deep dive into almost any system or game or time, and it's just like you just know all the things. You could, man. Like
I'm always game for that.
I had so many things I was gonna get to, like kind of funny and New York Comic Con and like 20. Actually, I want to ask you this before I let you go. Unfortunately, we gotta keep it to that hour. We gotta keep it to that time limit. So we're gonna have to have you back on because man, video games are awesome. If you had to choose right now, like what's your game of the year so far?
Oof.
What's your goatee?
I mean, I platinum Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I want to say Spider-Man. Unfortunately, I never finished God of War yet. So I gotta go to. It's on the backlog. One of the downsides to writing is that you start a game and you never finish.
Yeah. Because
you have to go to the next thing. So that happened with God of War. But Spider-Man, I actually did finish. So I would say that. And
everybody but me finished that game, by the way.
I don't know if the season's gonna end by the end of the year. Probably not, because the first episode just came out. But my favorite game is Life is Strange, and the first episode of Life is Strange 2 just blew my mind.
Wow, really?
And it's so weird because Max and Chloe are my favorite characters. So I was concerned that Life is Strange 2 without Max and Chloe would have been a weird game, but I really like the new characters. Wait, I'm gonna jump here really fast because I see something here.
Something's happening.
I bought the textbook from Life is Strange.
What?
At Comic-Con. It doesn't come out yet. Like, it was like a pre-release, but it's Chloe's textbook from the game.
Oh my gosh.
And like inside, it's all of her notes and doodles of like the actual textbook for the school. And I was just like, as someone who loves the game, I needed to get it.
And you know what, man? Like, I love that that's a thing, because games that you play, and I'm trying to think, like, I think the same about like the Dragon Age Origins games, or the Dragon Age games in general, the Mass Effect games, BioWare games, where just by playing them, you know that they've created things outside of whatever it is you're directly experiencing. And I feel like that's an example of that. And it's just like all the work that you just like, it doesn't necessarily get displayed in the game, but it shows, if that makes sense. Like, it shows that that work has been done and that thought has been, I guess, thought about.
Did you play Life is Strange?
I played the first one. I played maybe the first, I think I did the first episode of the prequel one. Before the Storm, but I need to get back to it.
Without any spoilers, and you know how they have 2 endings that you could choose in the first one.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I chose the one that has the shorter ending, the one they basically don't want you to choose.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one I chose, and they're making a comic book following that ending.
Oh, that's sweet.
So that one comes out, I think starts out next month, but it follows that ending, which makes me very happy because that's the ending I chose. So now I can kind of see what they would have done had they just continued off of that.
See, man, that's how you deal with like the divergent paths at the end, but then like trying to satisfy both audiences. One has to sort of be canon in a way if you're gonna like carry on, I guess.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
And yeah, I really hope you play the second one because
I gotta have time.
Really
oh my goodness.
Whenever you do, though, like,
there's so much I could play Assassin's Creed for the next 2 years, man. Assassin's Creed Odyssey is so good.
Well, I'm making a list of things that I want to play and hoping that for Extra Life, I force myself to get through some of those.
Yeah, do it for the kids, right?
Yeah, so I mean, like Red Dead.
Yeah.
I'll be like, I'll play any kind of... See, it's weird. I love horror movies, so everybody wants to give me horror games to review, and I'm just like, horror games?
Yep.
They scare me way too much.
Seriously.
The only one I finished recently, which was 2 years ago, was Until Dawn, which I
thought Until Dawn was a 9, man. I thought that game was
might
excellent.
be my favorite PlayStation 4 game.
Yep.
Of all time.
Yeah, it's so good, dude. Oh man, dude. Speaking of Extra Life, tell everybody where they can find you on Extra Life. They can support you. When are you playing? And then tell everybody all the other things. What all the things that you're up to as we close things out here.
I'll shoot you a link with the Extra Life page
Okay.
because I don't know that.
Are you on a team or anything?
I'm doing Kind of Funny, like Team Kind of Funny.
Nice.
So I just saw their link or whatnot, and I joined there.
Okay.
I think I'm just, since I was doing it by myself, I put 500. It's a reasonable goal. But I mean, as you saw the other day on Twitter, I kind of reached out to everybody to try to play some kind of game. Because I figured we tried earlier in the year to do Extra Life, and it was a complete failure.
No kidding.
Just a lot of technical issues or whatnot. So I'm not going to have the same people come over this time. But if I get people online, like I know I tagged Luke and the Megadads and all that, even if no one's on my stream, but we're playing together, maybe that'll bring some people in.
I'm down.
And I want to play Black Ops 4. I want to play Fortnite. Halo. Now we got to play Halo because we just talked about it.
Yeah, right.
we gotta play Horizon 4. I still think that'll be a lot of fun to play.
Man,
and then I want to...
Extra Life.
Maybe I can convince people to donate, and then I'll force myself to play like Amnesia or something like that.
I love it. Yes, the challenge donations are the best, man.
Because I don't like horror games, but I'll play them if I have to.
Wait, I'm not really sure. Do you like horror games or
I love
not?
horror. Oh, I love horror
I'm just
movies.
kidding.
I'll play horror games, but they scare me way too much. I never finished Resident Evil 7 just because I got too freaked out, and I beat the first boss, and then I got to the second house, and it took me. I was like, I can't do it.
I'm just messing with you, dude. Where can people find you on Twitter and the Xbox Enthusiast and all the other things that you got going on, my friend?
So I'm on XboxEnthusiast.com, but I also do NintendoEnthusiast.com stuff. You'll probably see me there a little more this month because a lot of Halloween stuff.
Ooh.
And then I'm VersaVulture89 on Xbox Live, and I'm VersaVulture89 on PSN as well.
You got a good PSN.
Yeah. I don't have to change my name.
No. Some of us are gonna do that as soon as possible.
And then I'm AJGVulture89 on Twitter.
I love it, man. Thank you so much for taking time. I'm glad this finally was worked out. We got new cables for your microphone, and I got my kid down to nap. I'm realizing now I don't have my monitor in front of me. I did a rookie dad mistake. It's definitely upstairs, so I pray that he's still sleeping. He was out when I put him down, so hopefully he's still out.
And then next time, if we do it again, no games. We'll do something different.
Next one is the streamcast, man. Next time, like, we're gonna either I'm coming on your stream or you come on my stream, like, because it'll be too long before we come on to the show. We got to catch up another sometime very, very soon. Thank you so much for your time today, man. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
I thought I would leave this part to the end of the show just to see if anybody is listening. But on If We're at Nintendo, that will actually go up maybe yesterday. Bobby, when do we launch If We're at Nintendo? I think it's Sundays now. I don't know. At some point on If We're at Nintendo this week, I gave a great shout out, if I do say so myself. I meant to say that, like, I wanted to highlight and spotlight a good friend of mine, Johnny Casino, for his work on Radio Is Lame. I was on the show, Chris Berter's on the show, Bobby's on the show, the Nintendo Guru. You've shoved this spear into my heart in such a weird way, because I don't know if what's a spear. I want to play Assassin's Creed right now. You're doing such great work, Johnny. Everybody needs to go check that out. And it's made me like go, what do I even do with this show? Like, what am I even doing with my life? Johnny Casino doing an absolutely incredible job. I really need to, like, I want to hone in on the show. You've pushed me, man. You pushed me. So that's awesome. Really is awesome. Thank you guys so much for listening. And Johnny Casino, keep doing it, man. Keep up the good work. I'm supposed to mention Adam Leonard. I think it's, oh, I am going to help. Oh, because he drew some stuff. Thank you guys so much for listening. If you haven't already, please rate us on iTunes. It makes a huge difference. You guys have no idea. Start with just the stars. And then if you just want to say like bah or something stupid, like, or hey, I yell a lot of stupid stuff on the internet. So just like regurgitate that crap back in the review, and people will know what you're talking about. Maybe back next week. I travel a little bit this week. I'm gonna have some Switch time. I'm stoked. I have a red eye going into New York. I'm gonna touch Bobby. It's gonna be a good week. I don't know what else is going on, guys. If you haven't already, also, if you'd like to, throw $1 over at patreon.com/makeusbetter. It's the best Patreon on the internet because you support myself, you support the entire PSVG network, which, by the way, they got the standalone feeds for the Shack up. Nintendo Shack is up. It's the #1 Nintendo podcast on the internet, which is very insulting to my own podcast and also Nintendo Nostalgia and Warp Whistle Gaming. So many Nintendo podcasts, but now you can find the Nintendo Shack all on its lonesome. It makes it so much more shareable, so much more discoverable. Honestly, I tweeted about it. You guys, like, it's bottom of my heart. It's like to know that we are together making this impact and making everybody better. Like, in the truest sense of the word, it's better. Thank you so much for everybody who does that already. Thank you to our artists, Gary Gray and Adam Leonard, and to our video designer, Mr. Antonio Guillen. It's almost time for Jason, guys. So otherwise, this is episode 173 of We the GamerCast. I miss you already. I can't believe it's over. This show is now in your ears and your eyeballs. I'll be back next week. I hope you're there too. Now it's time for my Jason. Where's Jason? He was here. Where did he go?
Jason! 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 Sean! 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 Sean, where are you? Jason! 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 Sean! 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 Jason! 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 Jason!